Content creator named Ankit Kumar recently shared a video on Instagram where he called out some Indian passengers for their unruly behavior during a flight to Thailand. In the video, Ankit explains that the cabin crew had asked these passengers multiple times to return to their seats, but they ignored the request. Ankit was shocked and expressed his frustration, saying that Indians love to insult themselves everywhere. We have turned the flight into a train or a bus. They are standing and traveling, and that plane hasn't even landed.
If you think airplane turbulence is scary, wait till you experience passenger turbulence. Because sometimes the real danger on a flight is not the weather or the engine, but the people who treat the airplane like it's their cousin's wedding hall. A video by creator Sarcasm with Ankit started going viral online. In the clip, he talked about his flight to Thailand, and honestly, it sounded less like international travel and more like a noisy family picnic high in the sky. According to his account, several fellow passengers kept standing up, talking loudly across rows, opening food, moving around constantly, and ignoring repeated instructions from the cabin crew to sit down and follow flight rules. The staff reportedly had to keep reminding them, again and again, like tired school teachers trying to control a classroom 5 minutes before summer vacation. Now, before anyone gets defensive, let's be clear about something. This is not about every Indian traveler. Millions of Indian tourists travel every year and behave perfectly fine. But incidents like this keep popping up online, and when they do, they create a reputation problem that affects everyone else who just wants to sit quietly, watch a movie, and land without drama. Airplanes are not buses. They are not trains. And they are definitely not living rooms where you can walk around with snacks while chatting loudly with your relatives 3 rows away. Flights have strict safety rules for a reason. When the seatbelt sign is on, it is not a polite suggestion. It is not a friendly reminder like your mom telling you to drink water. It is there because sudden turbulence can throw people around like popcorn in a microwave. Aviation safety reports have shown that turbulence injuries are one of the most common causes of passenger harm during flights. So when cabin crew ask passengers to sit down, they are not trying to ruin anyone's holiday mood. They are trying to prevent someone from smashing into the ceiling like a badly thrown cricket ball. But the bigger issue here is something many social commentators have talked about for years: civic sense. That simple idea that shared spaces require shared responsibility. It means understanding that just because you can do something does not mean you should. The flight video reflects a pattern that people often complain about, not just in the air, but across different forms of public transport. Take trains, for example. If you have ever traveled on crowded railway routes in India, you might have seen passengers blocking doors, sitting in aisles, blasting music from phones without headphones, or treating reserved seating like optional guidelines instead of actual rules. And yes, while overcrowding plays a big role, behavior still matters. Then there is bus travel. Anyone who has taken long-distance bus journeys has probably seen people throwing trash out of windows, shouting across the aisle, or standing in dangerous spots while the bus is moving. Again, not everyone does this, but enough people do that it becomes part of the stereotype that travelers from the region are noisy or disruptive. And then we reach the final boss of public behavior: driving. India's road system is one of the busiest in the world. And while infrastructure and enforcement challenges exist, driving behavior often gets criticized internationally. Reports from the World Health Organization have shown that India consistently records one of the highest numbers of road traffic fatalities globally. Experts often link this not only to infrastructure gaps, but also to rule-breaking habits like ignoring lane discipline, jumping signals, and risky overtaking. What makes situations like the Thailand flight incident worse is that it happens outside the home country. When tourists misbehave abroad, they do not just represent themselves. Fair or unfair, they end up representing their entire nationality in the eyes of others. Tourism studies have repeatedly shown that traveler behavior strongly influences how local communities view visitors. If enough negative encounters happen, locals may become less welcoming, stricter regulations may be introduced, and prices can even increase because businesses assume higher maintenance or security costs. We have seen examples of this in multiple global tourist destinations where authorities had to introduce behavior fines, restricted zones, or stricter visitor monitoring after repeated incidents involving tourists from different countries. And once a reputation sticks, it is extremely hard to erase. Just ask any country that has been stereotyped by tourism behavior before. The irony is that India itself struggles with tourist behavior issues from visitors who come into the country and do not respect local customs or cleanliness rules. So the frustration is something many Indians already understand, which is why it is even more surprising when some travelers repeat the same mistakes abroad. Now let's talk about why this behavior sometimes happens. Social researchers often point to three main reasons. First is crowd conditioning. When people grow up in environments where public spaces are overcrowded and rules are loosely enforced, they become used to functioning in chaos. When they enter structured environments like airplanes, trains abroad, or organized tourist sites, the adjustment can be difficult. Second is the group travel mentality. When people travel in large family or friend groups, they sometimes feel more comfortable and less self-aware. It becomes easy to forget that they are sharing space with strangers who may not enjoy their loud jokes or food smells at midnight. Third is awareness. Many first-time international travelers simply do not know the expected behavior standards. Air travel etiquette is not always taught clearly, and sometimes airlines or travel agencies assume passengers already understand the rules. That said, awareness is improving. Airlines have increased safety announcements, travel influencers are educating viewers about etiquette, and younger travelers are generally more exposed to global travel norms through social media. Videos like the one from Sarcasm with Ankit, while uncomfortable to watch, also spark conversations that can lead to improvement. There is also another side that deserves attention. Many Indian tourists have been praised worldwide for being respectful, friendly, and enthusiastic travelers. Countries like Thailand, UAE, Singapore, and Maldives see millions of Indian tourists every year, and tourism boards actively market to them because they are an important economic group. So clearly, responsible travel already exists on a massive scale. The problem is that viral bad behavior spreads faster than quiet good behavior, and the fact that there is also a lot of bad behavior from Indians abroad. One noisy flight video can travel across the internet in hours, while thousands of peaceful flights go unnoticed. It is like when one person burns toast, and suddenly the whole house smells like disaster, even though dinner was perfectly fine. Fixing this image problem is not complicated, but it requires small individual changes. Things like respecting crew instructions, keeping noise levels low, following seating rules, managing children responsibly during travel, and understanding that public transport is a shared environment, not a private event space. And honestly, these changes benefit everyone, not just image or reputation. Flights become safer, journeys become calmer, staff face less stress, and passengers reach their destinations without feeling like they survived a reality TV survival show. Travel is supposed to be exciting. It is supposed to open minds, expose people to new cultures, and create memories worth sharing. But that only works when travelers also respect the spaces they enter. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to explore the world, not disturb it. The viral Thailand flight story is not just about one plane or one group of passengers. It is a reminder that behavior in shared spaces matters, especially when representing your country abroad. Every traveler becomes an unofficial ambassador the moment they step onto an international flight, whether they like it or not. If travel continues to grow, and global tourism numbers suggest it definitely will, etiquette will become even more important. Airports will get busier, flights will get fuller, and patience will become just as valuable as passports. So maybe the next time any of us boards a flight, the best travel accessory will not be noise-canceling headphones or neck pillows. It will simply be common courtesy, which, by the way, does not take up any luggage space.